Hello and welcome everybody, my name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at Algorand again. We've had a bit of a move up here and we were talking about the possibility of this in the last video. If you would like more information on that, why not just search up the Crypto Rosetta channel and look for Algo video. Okay, but we're going to get into what we think is going on here shortly. But before we do that, I'd like to say thank you for watching the video. If you'd like to show your support, please smash that like button. If you're enjoying the content, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and why not leave us some feedback down below. Okay, so let's talk about a few things. We were talking about a few potentials where we were potentially still within this fourth wave, or this fourth wave could have ended here and we were looking to break down much lower towards this price box that we had here. We can see, however, that we've actually broken back above this high point here, so that would actually indicate that either we've completed into this low here, or alternatively we are still within this white fourth wave. So we're going to go over this shortly. First thing I want to do is just remove some of this noise. If we just take this off and take this off, let's get rid of some of this. Okay, let's delete that. There we go. Okay, let's turn everything back on now. So like I was saying, we could potentially have still had this fourth wave here, and we've actually completed into this low point. And the way that we could look at it is the potential that we have. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 as a diagonal to complete this 5-wave move. If that is the case, effectively what we'd be looking at as this as a move in as a start of a move rather than an end of a move. So there's two things that I want to go over here basically. Within this, like I said, either this could be an ended 5-wave move into this low here. The structure is not, I would like it to be a bit neater, but it is still possible. So that could be completed there, and we could actually start to look to move to the upside here. And basically there's a few ways we can look at this. I'm going to go over this first, and then we'll go over the potential of it still being in a fourth. So there is, the wave structure here is a little bit unclear at the moment, and it is possible that we could actually look at this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 up into this high point here. This is a B wave, and then we could actually be looking for an additional 5-wave move here, or alternatively we could actually look at this as a bigger 5-wave move. So what I was looking for here is the potential that we could have had this as a first 5-wave move, and then we've had this small retracement here. It is very shallow though, so it makes me think that it is part of this whole move, but we're going to be monitoring it anyway. So looking at this next bit here, we seem to have this up into here with this retracement. So now we could actually be looking for a bigger 5-wave move here, where this becomes an A, B, and a C to the upside. And what we'd be looking for potentially within this move, if we are going to see it develop as an ABC pattern to the upside, is maybe moving up towards this this 1-to-1, which is this 1864 zone. So that could be something we look to do here. The structure within this is a little bit strange. We could look for a diagonal potentially, where this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, and then it ends as a contracting diagonal. And what that would mean is basically we could look to form something like this, where we end this move in a wedge shape pattern like this, and that would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, and then that could look to complete lower down, and that would potentially be that completed 5-wave move like the ABC to the upside, so A, B, and a C. So the reason why we're looking for this effectively is if let me remove this. If we have completed here into this low point at this 1595 area, what we would be looking for is the potential that we actually have an additional fourth wave here. So this fourth wave target area is actually towards this 1895, would be a 0.382 retracement, which is not far off of this 1865 zone. So it is possible that we could look to target this area before looking for rejection down to the downside again. And if we were to be looking at moving up towards that 0.382 zone, if I can get this on this low point, we come up here to this high point, we can see, okay, so this would slightly change this expected area, and I'm going to just move it down here, just going to make an adjustment here. But basically what we'd be looking for is a move down towards this 1236, sorry, this 1535 rather, reading the wrong label there, towards this 14 39. So this is just a typical fifth wave area worked off of the fibs. There are other ways of doing this, and it just gives us sort of a roadmap of where we might look to move to. So this could be a potential area. Should this actually be the third wave that should we have completed here, and we're looking for this fourth wave and this additional leg to the downside for this fifth wave. So invalidation of this would only come by moving back above. Let's see, which one is this one. Invalidation of this would only come by moving back above this 2258 zone. So there is a long way to go for this to invalidate. So we're going to have to keep an eye on this structure and see what we can find along the journey and see how we react. However, there is also the potential, like I said, that we could see some extension within here, and instead rather we might look to make a bigger 5-wave move to the upside like this, where this is a 1, 2, then we're looking for this wave 3, 4, and a 5 to the upside. So this is something we need to just be aware of. So we could actually see a bigger 5-wave move play out here, or we could get this zigzag like this, and that could actually potentially complete this fourth wave. It is also possible that potentially within this move, what we could see a more complex fourth wave where we form this as an A, a B, and a C, and then we look to push up again, look to maintain this low point here, and look for a retracement. Depends, obviously, if this plays out. If it doesn't play out, then we've got different options. But if it did play out into this box area, basically we'd be looking for that retracement back to the 1743 zone, all the way down to the 1659 zone as a potential B wave, and then look for that C wave to the upside. Okay, so let's talk about what else could be going on here. So if I just actually change this over now, and we go to that, we can look at this slightly different, and the way we can look at this, actually I'm going to turn off this other price point here because it's kind of in the way. There we go. So looking at this move solely on its own, what we could argue as well is that effectively maybe we have a 5-wave move within this. The structure is a bit strange, but that might just be because there's some extension within some of these waves. So the way that we could look at it is that potentially maybe we have this as a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4 into this low. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and maybe this is all a 5-wave move. So this could be looking to end in something like a diagonal where we were talking about earlier. So we could actually be looking for this to end as a bigger diagonal pattern here within this fifth wave, where this would actually be a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. And if that was the case, what we'd be looking for actually is within this move that we could look to break down from this point. Once we've, invalidation of this potentially being a diagonal would actually come by dropping back below this 1731. If we remain within this, what we'd be looking for is effectively another ABC to the upside here, because we can also count this move here as an ABC. So what we'd be looking for is a retracement to the downside here, and then a smaller 5-wave move to the upside to complete. So an ABC, sorry, a smaller ABC to the upside. And what that would be looking to do is something like this, a zigzag pattern. If we do this, basically this fifth wave can't be longer than the wave 3 if this is the case, and what would be, it depends exactly where this comes down to, but we can estimate somewhere around here. So it wouldn't be able to go higher than this 1893 if it is to end as a diagonal. So that's something we could potentially see play out here. Unfortunately, at the moment, there's a lot of possibilities here. We could see this playing out like this, and we're having an extension in a diagonal in the fifth wave, and then we look to break down. The important thing is what happens after this point. So what we would want to see if this is extension within this fifth wave in a diagonal like we've got it shown here, we'd want to see how this reacts around this zone here, this green box area. And this would potentially be a support zone if we were looking to progress to the upside. So what we could be effectively looking for here is either something like this, where we get this as an A, we retrace down into this zone and we look to push up again with a C wave, or alternatively if it's going to develop into a bigger 5-wave move, which I'm not seeing very likely, but we'll have to still monitor it, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like this. So all eyes are on what happens with this move here, because we're talking about these bullish potentials here, but there is also a potential that this is actually still a 4th wave. So we're going to finish off this first, but what we can have a look at here is the alternative to counting it like I have here is looking for it as having an extension within this wave 3. So the way we would look at that is that we have a 1, 2, and then actually this wave 3 is extended, where we have this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Hold on, let me just check the subwaves. The problem is the overlap. So we've got a bit of overlap here. So we'd have to say 3 was into this high point and this was our 5th wave. And effectively with this, what we would be looking for then is a move to the downside if this is completed, which it potentially could be. There could be one last little push to the upside here. Looking at the waves. However, we need to just bear in mind, if we just have a look here, if I just click onto this, the 1 hour stochastic is overbought, the 4 hour is overbought, the 8 hour is overbought, the daily is overbought now as well, and I think the weekly has room. But you know, this is all sort of indicating that we could be looking for a move to the downside to play out shortly. How deep this goes is not known until we actually start to see it, but there is a good chance that we could actually face some major rejection from here. It all depends whether we manage to hold this low of this 1598. If we manage to hold this 1598 and look to retrace back down into this support zone that we've got here between the 1715 to the 1636, then we could actually be looking for further continuation to the upside. Basically, what I would be looking for is a move potentially up into this, like I said, this red square area. The highest I'd really want to see it is move towards this 20 cent region. That would be the highest I sort of want to see it go. I wouldn't want to see it go much higher than that, otherwise it starts to become a little bit too deep, and then it's more likely that we've got something else going on within that. So this is what we're looking at the moment. There is possibility, like I said, that we could have this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and then we're getting some kind of an extension within this move. But there's not enough information for us to be confident on that. This could actually just start to break down from here. So now we were going to talk about the potentially more bearish side of this. If I turn this back on, and we get rid of this for now. So we were talking previously about the potential that we had this white 4th wave finish here and maybe a diagonal to complete. However, it is also still possible, because we haven't moved up past this 20 cent 95 range. It is also possible that we are still within this 4th wave, and we did talk about this briefly in the previous video, that this could actually start to break down here, or we could still be looking to push higher into this red box area. So we can see we've actually come very close to this 0.382. And what we'd be looking at there is that what we could have here is rather a flat correction like this. So there would be a 3-wave up, 3-wave down, and then we're looking for a 5-wave move to complete. So if this is correct though, what this would indicate is once this 5-wave move completes, we would be looking for rejection to the downside, and this would be looking to set a new low here. So the thing with this is, if we take this from this low point up into this high point currently, let's get it right on there. So this is obviously if we don't push up a little bit more, but if we actually just start to drop down here, and actually this was still a 4th wave correction, our target area for this would be this 1547 to this 1469 zone. That would be our potential area we'd be looking to target should this actually still be within a 4th wave correction and we're actually still looking to move to the downside. So we need to be careful here, because there is a bit of uncertainty with this move to the upside. I did say in the previous video that if we had a 5-wave move to the upside, I would still be very skeptical of it until we get more evidence that we actually have a completed bottom here, and that this is not going to just roll over, because of the fact we had this strange structure playing out, and we were talking about the potential of a 1-2-1-2 situation, looking for that 5-wave move down. But we did also say that this 5-wave to the upside, should we get one, would be something we need to keep an eye on, because if this does actually start to roll over, this C wave, normally what happens if you get an expanding flat correction like this is the preceding wave is actually quite violent. So should we start to break down here and we lose this support zone of this 1598, effectively what we could be looking for is this target zone within this, and then what we would be looking for is actually that we still have an additional 4th and 5th wave to come after this fact. So this is just what we need to keep an eye on, because this 5-wave move in isolation doesn't mean anything. 5-wave moves in isolation can be the end of a move as well as the beginning of a move, so we just need to be aware that this could all be a corrective structure, and we actually break down, take out these lows, and actually look to head lower down into the support zone. We do have the potential, like I said, of developing to the upside, but what we'd want to see is from the current side, we've gone over this already, but I'm just going to drop this back on here. Effectively, moving back down, finding support between the 1711 and the 1645 could potentially allow for a bigger move to the upside, though we need to stay above this 1598. We'll be monitoring the moves here and seeing how these react. It is possible that we could extend further to the upside, but basically once we start to drop below this 1731, and additionally here this low at 1706, basically from there my next support zones would be between the 0.618 and the 786 zone. If we had to lose that, then I would be more confident that we are actually within this 5th wave. I do think that this is quite a likely option, so this is sort of my preferred count, but we'll have to see if we can manage to find support and push, and whether we push back up to the upside here. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Okay. So this is the things that I'm currently looking out for, and I hope that this video was useful to you. If you have any questions, or if there's anything else you want to see me do a video on, please drop it in the comment section below. Thank you again for watching. Really appreciate the support from everybody. If you haven't subscribed, smash that subscribe button and hit that like button. Thank you everyone for your time, and we will see you in the next video. Take care out there, everybody.